Good afternoon, sir. How the heck are you?
Liar, I'm not in the building. I'm on the phone, and but I'm ready for some basketball tonight.
Yeah, we are too. What do you think's going to happen? You think the Mavs extend the series?
You start looking at the way the team has played these 3 games, and you look at the way that Jason Kidd coached Game 3. That looks like a team that is desperate and didn't think that they had an answer for anything the Celtics were doing. The way that he didn't play Tim Hardaway the first 2 games and plays him 20 minutes and all that. Like, I don't know that this team has the confidence to go in and win a game against this Boston Celtics team. Now, it is really hard to win 4 games in a row against a team. Mavs will be at home, backs against the walls. Luka, like you guys just mentioned, he's got something to prove after the game that he played the other night. And so you hope that they go in and win. But, man, I just don't have belief in this team right now.
What did you think about Windy and some of the national perspective crushing Luka yesterday? Which, I mean, some were rightfully thinking that was deserved. I tried to have the Luka cape on for our guy, Nick. I don't know what you thought about it all.
Yeah, Daniel Larson and I on Locked On Mavs had to take up for him a little bit, too, because I think that he's not above criticism. He definitely did not play well defensively. He definitely let the refs get to him, some of the calls, and obviously made some dumb decisions late in the game to step in front of Jaylen Brown on that final play where he got the 6th foul. I mean, that's just a terrible decision in that moment. I think, though, it's irresponsible to not mention all the injuries he's dealing with right now. Like, it is a war of attrition for him that you expect him to do all the offense, to defend as well as he does in such high-pressure moments against these, really great athletes and all that. While he's dealing with all this, like, I think that's why he struggled so much in that game. I mean, he's getting held together by injections and tape at this point. And so I think that it's disingenuous to not mention that part of it. Now, I do think that he has to be better, but I think that Luka is such an easy target for a couple of reasons. One, he's a player that has very glaring flaws. They're just out there, right? And they're not like his defense has been better in this playoff run. The Mavs would not be where they are in the NBA Finals if he played defense like he did in Game 3 every single game, right? Like we've all seen the game. Like there's no way they'd be where they are if he played defense like that. And the Mavs defense is predicated on all 5 players being good enough, just being good enough at their spot. Not great, but just good enough. And if one player is not good enough, it stands out like a sore thumb. And you just can immediately recognize it and notice it. And Luka happened to be that guy in Game 3. And so I think he's just an easy target. It's an easy talking point. It's an easy thing to just go after him. But to not give it its proper context, I think it's just unfair to him.
What's bringing you more physical pain right now, watching THJ play basketball or Maxi Kleber?
Well, we're not watching Maxi Kleber play that much basketball right now. He's played, 8 minutes in Game 3? Yeah. But what's giving me physical pain is just the joy of the Celtics fans, both in Boston when I was there watching those games and then in the comments and DMs and all this stuff, just coming out of nowhere. The guy that wrote that article today about, is Luka even a winning player? Like that guy covers the Celtics, and you're just like, all right, now they're just all running with all their, we were right, you were wrong, and all this kind of stuff. And I think that's giving me more pain right now than anything.
Hey, Nick, we've kind of, what do you think led to Luka's frustration, though? Do you think it was the games of him having to carry things? I mean, and it not having the success? What do you think led to his frustrations in Game 3?
I think the injuries are really catching up to him. I think that he's just having to deal with a whole lot. I think that, he scored outside of Luka and Kyrie in Game 3, right? Like no one really stepped up. You had a little bit here from PJ Washington. You had a little bit here from some other guys, but he's just not getting the help that he needs. And he really lets that ref stuff get to him. Like the calls that he thinks that he should get, that he's not getting. I mean, Todd Franco, the great writer for the D magazine, had a thread today of a couple of examples of this is a foul in the first half and not in the second half. And it's just an inconsistently called game. And that drives Luka insane. Those are the moments where you look at Luka and go, why can't you just let this go? Just let it go. Just don't complain about this foul. And he goes, yes, but look, this was a foul at one point in the game, and it's not in the other. Every single game, he starts the game in the regular season or the playoffs by trying to see if he's going to get that bump foul at the beginning, where he just drives sort of into somebody, they bump him, and then he tries to take a quick shot. And if he gets that foul, it's really tough for the other team to stop him at that point. But if he doesn't get it, he's confused as to why he doesn't get it, because at some games it's a foul, some games it's not foul, and that drives him insane. And I think that's one of the reasons why he gets just so frustrated with refs later in the game.
What can the Mavs do to get easier buckets? They've talked about speeding it up. How does that specifically work with which guys?
Yeah, I think that it's tough. I don't know if you can get easy buckets against this Celtics team. They're just everywhere. They have really, really smart defenders. They have long wings. They have a center that knows what he's doing, and Al Horford. They have 2 all-defensive guards. I mean, it's not easy, and it's a bad matchup for the Mavericks to try and get easy buckets against them. I think that if Luka can do what he did in Game 2, where he forces the issue just so much, where you go, man, he has 20 points in a quarter or something like that, then they had to change their approach, and they had to double him. And I think that's when they got a couple of easy baskets out of that. Getting stops on one end and kicking out and kicking forward is something, but those guards are just back there. Like they're really taking away the transition buckets. The Mavs would just get some easy buckets every once in a while in the other series, and they're not getting those in this one. And so there's that. They've gotten a couple easy buckets out of like post-ups where they have Gafford posting up against Tatum. Tatum's been guarding him, so maybe they try that. But really, the only way that they're scoring right now is if Luka and Kyrie beat their man one-on-one.
Nick Angstadt, Locked On Mavs. Enjoy the game, sir. Thanks for your insights.
Man, I sure hope I enjoy the game tonight.
Right? Yeah. Still waiting for some more of that.
Let's go, Nick.